up, you guys? Welcome to the January 18th edition of NBA 3-Ball presented by Establish the Run. I'm your host, Mike Gallagher. Getting ready to take 10 minutes to talk some weekend basketball and some news as well. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up for us, please, and make sure you're subscribing. And let's talk about the big news of the weekend that CJ McCollum has a foot sprain. He is going to miss time. We do not know how much time he's going to miss. The Blazers did not give an update on his timetable, so it's not the traditional no timetable to return. But if you saw it, it looked pretty bad. He had an MRI that confirmed the sprain to his foot. So he's going to miss at least one game on Monday, probably more. And during that game in the second half, it was actually Anthony Simons who started the second half. But it was really Gary Trent Jr., who was probably their best player stepping up, guarded Trae Young. He's going to be a really important piece. We saw how great Trent Jr. was in Summer League, so I would expect him to be the main beneficiary here. And, just what horrible luck to lose Nurkic one day and then later in the week lose CJ McCollum, who was playing like an all-star. I mean, I wouldn't say MVP, but I mean he's been pretty close to a fantasy MVP with how great he's been playing. So yeah, it'll be Trent, Anthony Simons. We'll probably see Rodney Hood have to slide up a little bit as well. But this will really open up more minutes, too, for Robert Covington, Carmelo Anthony, and also Derrick Jones Jr. should have a little longer leash because, again, CJ is such a valuable piece that just so many people are going to have to step up. Dame has a 30.3 usage rate without McCollum. Actually, last year it was 34.4. So we should see a huge amount of Dame. Dame also had the ball in his hands on Saturday for 11.7 minutes. That's really, really, really high. So it's certainly going to be the Dame show, and maybe Robert Covington could actually make some shots. Moving to the Grizzlies, Jonas Valanciunas is not going to play today. Possibly more time with some contact tracing. We'll see what the details are with him. But you would think Gorgie Jang starts, but it's really been the young guys, Brandon Clark and Xavier Tillman. Taylor Jenkins just talks up Xavier Tillman every time. He's made key plays late in games. Brandon Clark coming off a 16 paint touch game on Saturday. That's a huge number for him. He's playing a lot better. Jenkins also praised him, so Jaw's back. They could still, go smaller when they have to, so that may help out, actually, guys like Desmond Bane or DeAnthony Melton kind of find a little bit more minutes. They're not really going to be reliable, but I really want to see what Xavier Tillman could do in a pretty good matchup today. Moving to the Wolves, and Karl Anthony Towns has coronavirus. It's just, she's read is sweet. It just breaks your heart. But, I mean, just sticking to the on-court stuff here, probably see Ed Davis go back to the starting lineup. And interestingly now, Jared Vanderbilt's been playing straight four lately, so he may be a little bit of a combo big man, while Naz Reid has a little bit longer leash, but Juancho Hernan-Gomez is not going to play, Ricky Rubio is not going to play. So those are two pretty important rotation pieces that'll allow Anthony Edwards to play more. Jarrett Culver should find more minutes. Josh Okogie, as he gets better from his hamstring, he should find more playing time. They need him. Saunders had talked about how his defense is really everything for this team, and they need to play more physical, which is why they kind of like Vanderbilt as well. So, yeah, I'm really excited for Vanderbilt today. And the big questionable tag for today is Kyrie Irving for the health and safety protocols. Possibly could make his return to the lineup. And interestingly, Kevin Durant, I think he kind of let one slip when he said that James Harden's natural position is point guard. So I think they really want to have him kind of be the primary guy, which makes sense to that last week that Kyrie does fit off ball, especially with LeBron. But I thought that was an interesting comment from KD. KD was just stupid good in his minutes with James Harden. 32 minutes of overlap with Harden in the last game. Scored 35 points in those 32 minutes. Just went off. They look so good. And Harden's no Harden or KD slander around here. Yeah, those two guys are going to just carry. We'll see how Kyrie fits in with them. Moving to the basketball action, as the Boston Celtics were just flat today. They scored 50 points in the first three quarters. Kemba Walker made his season debut at 20 minutes. Pretty much has a firm minutes limit, and Brad Stevens has said multiple times that this team has a really specific plan for Kemba Walker. So I would expect maybe multiple weeks, maybe even a month of limitations on his playing time. He won't play in back-to-backs most likely, so Kemba's still going to take some time to be really reliable in season long and in DFS. But I thought he looked okay. I thought he moved really well. He got out in the court open early, so I think he'll be all right. Jaylen Brown's still going to do some work. Jason Tatum almost certainly won't be available on Wednesday because he tested positive on Saturday, according to reports. That would mean at the earliest he'd be available will be this weekend coming up. Other than that, not too much going on here except for I think Brad Stevens is kind of over this double big lineup. It's been bad. It's been one of the worst defensive lineups in the NBA. And he said he went to that lineup to start the season to get their defense going. They had time off. Makes sense to hit the reset button. So I think maybe Grant Williams continues to start until Tatum is back, and then maybe something different after that as well. Knicks ballers, and got to start with the talented Mr. Quickley, a.k.a. IQ. What a game from him. It really wasn't even, he didn't even play the final 4 minutes or so in garbage time. Just total control. He and Obi Toppin were on the same page. Thibodeau after the game, interestingly, he said he's interested in playing Elfrid Payton with Quickley, which with Alec Burks kind of on the horizon here, if there is any Elfrid Payton Quickley overlap, I mean, you're chilling here. If you picked up, I have Emmanuel Quickley in literally every Yahoo league I'm in. I'm really fired up about him. But that's great news. You see Austin Rivers' minutes are starting to get dialed back. So I think that Burks will come back, and he'll obviously affect Reggie Bullock the most. But I expect him to affect Austin Rivers. And I think Quickley could still get, if this game was close, he would have probably closed. He would have probably played 24 minutes. So I think it's going to be pretty close to a 24 split down the middle. And Quickley, he looks like such a veteran the way he can kind of dissect defenses and, again, hitting his players like Obi Toppin. So bring him off the bench, let him and Toppin get chemistry together. Yeah, you love to see it. Moving to the Mavs, they got smacked by the Bulls despite Luka dropping 30 points in the first half. Also passed Michael Jordan for the triple-double list. I mean, honestly, the biggest takeaway for me is, my God, the Bulls' defense is so bad against pick-and-roll heavy guards after they were the league's best because they hedged so hard with Boylan and their personnel with Chris Dunn, and Shaq Harrison was a really good defender. So the Bulls have become such a great matchup. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander actually drove on them 43 times when he went off for his career game. But, I mean, Luka's a baller. His stat stuffing is ridiculous. He rebounds. His defensive stats are coming around, too, which Carlisle's tucked up a little bit. And missing Tim Hardaway Jr. for a groin injury was big time. Josh Green started. He got a real quick hook in the third quarter. But just Trey Burke was so bad that Green got put back out there. So I think Hardaway Jr. is probably going to miss time again today on Monday, but they will have Jalen Brunson back, and they love Jalen Brunson. He's close for them, so he could be. Carlisle said he had, quote, no idea why Brunson couldn't play on Sunday, but he'll be out there. That'll cut into West Wondu and all these guys that have been picking up a lot of playing time. Bulls get the win. Great game for Lauri Markkanen with 33 minutes. He actually asked for a sub in his first game back. He was not in great shape for that one, but really bounced back nicely. We'll see how he responds in the Monday back-to-back. The guards didn't have it. It was really their forwards coming through here with Otto and Garrett Temple all having really big games. Wendell Carter Jr., 5 steals. He's starting to make an impact. And, we'll see what happens with them on the back-to-back. There may be some maintenance to keep an eye on that. Kobe White's kind of falling off a cliff as Zach LaVine just continues to get so much pick-and-roll ball handling in the NBA right now. It's Jordan Clarkson time. According to Jordan Clarkson, 23 points, your NBA's leader in bench scoring. Continues to play really well. Joe Ingles missing time has been big for him. Ingles never missed games. I had that consecutive streak going, and Achilles thing's keeping him out multiple games here. We'll see if he can get it going. Rudy Gobert had a couple really nice offensive plays late, struggling at the free throw line again to cap his season-long value a little bit. And Mike Conley's having a really good season this year, really big bounce back after just a horrendous first season with his new team. Jamal Murray likes to play the Utah Jazz. Did ding his elbow up again. That right shooting elbow has been an issue. Mike Malone said he's been kind of playing through pain there. But just keep an eye on it. We know Jamal Murray will play through anything, including double hernias. So he should still be out there. We'll just see if it affects his efficiency as a shooter. Jokers. I mean, nothing really new with his big stat lines. This guy is arguably the number one player in fantasy right now. And the starting lineup didn't look great today, so maybe that could get Michael Porter Jr. possibly back on Friday into his spot because he may have been coming off the bench with how well this lineup had been playing. It had been one of the best net rating lineups in the NBA. No Fox given, but they did catch a loss and a great matchup for De'Aaron Fox. Career high 43, 13 assists as well. Just totally took it to this Pelicans defense. They can't contain some guys, so props to him. And man, Walton said that Richaun Holmes has complete trust of the coaching staff, and my word, does he. 42 minutes. I mean, he is just lapping the field right now with Hassan Whiteside. Again, another hip injury. He had a lot of these hip issues back with the Heat, so, I mean, he might be not even playing again for a while. We'll see. Zion and Eric Bledsoe just carried them. Nickeil Alexander-Walker cooled off a little bit. Sounds like Lonzo's going to miss a little bit more time with this knee issues that he's been playing with. The Pacers got crushed by the Clippers. Miles Turner had a hand injury, didn't play. And we saw some Goga out there, had some nice defense. And Karis LeVert has a small mass on his kidney. Hopefully he's okay, but we'll see more of the Justin Holiday out there and a little bit of Aaron Holiday. Serge Ibaka was a late scratch, and Lou Williams did not play with his hip injury. Shouldn't be too major, miss much time. Blue Kennard really stepped up as the Clippers just took it to the Pacers. That's going to do it, so enjoy the full day of basketball today. Catch you tomorrow.